Hey, what is going on? This is Chief Booty Baker, and I'd love to welcome you to the channel. This is a new series of videos that I'm starting on a game that I'm very excited about. It's remake, Pharaoh, a New Era. This originally was a game released on PC actually on Halloween 1999 by Impression Games and published by Sierra Studios. It's kind of like Caesar 3. It's a city builder, one of the only city builders that kind of hold a different culture and base the game just on the Egyptian culture back in around 3000 BC. What a really cool game that's got a lot of memories for me. I played a lot of it, restarted, did a lot of different saves, did a lot of different approaches. So I'm very excited to have you on the channel. Please like, subscribe, join, and we're going to turn this into just kind of a neat gameplay experience on how to build your cities up and learn about the missions. And it looks like she's wearing socks right there, which I found really funny, but it's just a reflection in the water. But, so, I welcome you. I bring you Pharaoh, a New Era. There was an expansion pack in 2000 called Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. And ever since then, I've been wondering, well, whatever happened to that game? I still have the old disc somewhere in a closet, basement, somewhere. Anyway, being a game that was like 25 years old now, I wondered, well, did they ever put it on an app? You know, so I started looking for it, and I just kind of stumbled upon a few months back that they were releasing this remake. So I instantly got excited. I'm like, hey, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be awesome. And I wanted to throw out some videos out there, and just kind of a little bit of review, a little bit of gameplay, all sorts of good stuff. All right, and here's how we're gonna get started. A little tip from the chief himself. Options. I had some flickering on my screen, which was a little odd, so I had to go into the graphics and I had to turn off my vertical synchronization. And this is also where you can access your key binding, which you can change numerous different hotkeys to help you if you are very savvy on the keyboard. I'm going to kind of start off with the mouse. Mouse does kind of give you a few weird little quirks when you're controlling the screen. When you're trying to access your menus on the side, the camera moves with it. It's sometimes not ideal. All right, so we'll back out of that. A little history from the chief. This game originally was actually it hit pretty well. The reception for it was actually an 8.2 on GameSpot, 9.0 on IGN. PC Gamer even gave it 83%, so not too bad. It had an average of 82.45. I mean, this is a city builder game. Granted, this was kind of back in the day where maps and games are still a little bit small. PS2 had just come out, the Xbox, all that kind of good stuff. It was just starting to hit big. So it hit big in the German market. It spent 6 weeks in the top rankings with a 5th place finish in December from its year of release. Pharaoh actually continued at number 5 in January and secured 6 for February and April 2000. That was all in the German market. Pharaoh became a worldwide hit and actually it remained in media control through Germany, Austria, Switzerland through August 2000 in the top 20, and then finished in the firm's top 20 for 13 months. Pharaoh actually became a worldwide hit, according to Miri Station. It combined global sales with Caesar 1 and surpassed 1 million units by July 2000. So, very classic city builder. In fact, a lot of games are going to your app games and all that. I get really bored of them because they're all pay to play. You throw money at them. Like SimCity is the worst. I think EA is highly game built on purchases. So I'm actually going to start a whole new game. I'm going to delete this one. I've practiced this a little bit. So, all right, welcome to the Chief Booty Baker family of Egyptian culture. Create that family. Now we're going to proceed. So here's the first mission. Basically, you're going to relive 4,000 years of Egyptian history in total. The first mission is going to start off in Nupt. Your family begins the pre-dynastic period, leading a small band of nomads through their discovery of the arts of civilization. Your leadership helps set Egypt on its course to eventual greatness, still glimpsed only dimly. So the first thing is going to be get a village is born. So small landscape, wind conditions, very easy. It's going to be very straightforward. 6 meager shanties. All right, we'll get going. It can be predetermined where you lay out your buildings. It's going to be very linear, which is fine. I'm going to stop him from speaking. No offense. It's they pop up all the time. It's something that I remember from way back when I played this game 25 years ago. So if you want to take the time to listen to him, awesome. Do it. There is a lot of cultural education in this game that I will never forget. And also the monuments that you'll end up building throughout some of the missions. They can get very complicated, and it's a pretty intricate leveling system. So we'll get going here. All right, so the first thing, we're going to look at some of this stuff. I'm going to push pause. Now, one thing you want to take a look at is how fast your current date will scroll along. Now, sometimes most missions are going to be determined a better score the quicker you get them done. Also, you have your options up here. You can save your game, load your game. They just had a patch update today, which I guess there were some corrupted save games from the previous patch. So, in any case, should be all good to go now. So that's good that they're highly committed to fixing any problems that pop up. And this is where you can, again, get into your hotkey. All I did was change camera up, camera down to U and D. I guess you could do like north-south, but I don't really know how that's... I mean, you can do whatever you want. Anyway, left and right, camera right, left and right. So that little option for you. Over here is your notifications. So if you save the game and come back, it's going to update and let you know what you need to do, what you, it's just kind of a list of your mission status. Eventually, these will open up. So easiest thing to do is just plant your houses. So we're going to throw down a row of houses here, and wants us to throw another row of houses here as soon as I let go. All right, no road access. So the next thing, see, every time I scroll to the right or left, your map moves, so that is kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm sure, see how bad that is? All right, so options. The game's paused, so that's fine. Options, let's see if we can fix that. Building picker, I'm not sure what that means. Escape probably takes you back to the main menu, so that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that your overseers will come into play eventually. Entertainment, you can set these. I am not seeing anything. Road, I'm not sure what those are going to do yet. Hey, I'm learning as I go. I'll keep checking it out. But for the most part, you can undo your last action. You can repair your mistakes. Very important thing. So while this is on pause, you can do all your building while it's on pause. So the next thing it's going to want us to do is put our road in. Kind of hard to see through the blue shaded blinking areas. Make sure you drag it all the way to the road. Let you know you did it. All right, so now it's going to talk about the Kingdom Road. Perfect. Now, as soon as you are done building, check to make sure there's nothing else. All right, so that's basically all we do. So at this point, because you are all ready, you have your normal speed, which start on normal speed. You can hear the little chants from the people. All right, and we should start seeing people arriving. As far as I can scroll down on the map, here they come. Now, at this point, if you want, because you can't really do anything else other than fill these houses with the people, you can go ahead and speed this up. All right, speed it up. Watch these houses build up. And slow it back down. You can see the difference, but you saw how fast that you can see how fast that date changed up there. All right, so it should pop up the next step. See, perfect. Automatically pauses for you. All right, so You think I'm probably being a goof as far as pausing those timelines up there, but it'll make sense eventually. To evolve their houses, what are your newcomers going to need? Well, they're going to need water. So it's going to start you off with a very basic. Make sure that this stays on pause. All right. Especially, you don't ever want to forget to pause it, because if you leave it in 5 times speed, you can actually slow down the game by 0.5 too. So to keep things going, you could do that. So that'll save your timeline. So that's good to know. See the Chiefs learning as you go, but I'm sharing all this stuff with you. So hopefully you're enjoying playing this game as well. All right, right click out of that. All right. Wells, everything you're going to need, all your buildings, all your monuments, all the goodies are going to be on the right side here. So we're going to click services. We're going to click the well. It obviously gives us where it wants us to put them. Now, wells and water supplies, eventually it's going to ask for a water supply. You're going to have to put those in the green areas. It's not going to let you put them in the desert. Speaking of how different it looks. I mean, grass, I don't know what else you'd want to call that. Desert, dry land, whatever. So, all right. Put that back. Take it off pause. Okay, and now it's going to allow the citizens to upgrade their houses. And we're going to wait for the next thing to pop up. Watch your houses evolve to 250 sturdy huts. Clear all that out. All right, so as soon as we get some more peeps in there, you can also click on your houses. It's going to give you some information on eventually you can tell what you're going to have to do for your, if you played any kind of city building game, then you're going to know. All right, so what else are your citizens going to need? They're going to need food. So we're going to set up some hunting lodges. And that was going to be, like I said, on the right side, food and farming. Going to pick the hunting lodges, and it's going to make them set them here. All right. Every time you get a message, it's going to pause the menu for you, so that's good, I guess. As with most working structures, these buildings must be located within reach of housing. Look, I'm going to take it off the menu. I'm going to pause it for a second. All right. It's going to show you where people are going to enter and where people are going to leave. So if you were to put this here, eventually the next step is going to talk about roadblocks. Now, roadblocks can get you in trouble, but it can also be very helpful in keeping people from roaming and getting lost and keeping people where they need to go. So as soon as that happens, we will check that out. Next thing is going to want granaries. All right, again, pause is a menu for us. Let's push pause for a second. Get in the habit of doing that, because sometimes you're going to really need to plot out and think where you want to build things. And while that's going on, your timeline is expiring, lowering your score on the missions. All right, so the third option down here on the bottom opens up for us, and we're going to build a granary. It'll list what it's going to store, so eventually you can see what areas of the game you're going to need to develop game meat, as what we're doing now, but figs, fish, grain, lettuce, meat, and pomegranate. All very important things. All right, this is what they lived on. This is what they needed when they were establishing, and that was what was available as resources. You can only place this where it wants you to, but at least it lets you change the orientation. Again, it shows you where they're going to enter and leave. Orientation doesn't really matter, just your preference on look. So we'll put that there. All right, take it off pause. All right, bazaars. Well, there you go. How are they going to deliver the goods to the people? You're going to open up the bazaar. All right, got the bazaar open. This is the next column. We got bazaar and granary. Oops. All right. And instantly it already starts talking about where your people are going to enter and leave the buildings. So when trying to place a building near a road, you will see indicators with arrows. A little live action there for you to see that. Green arrows show where the building will spawn its walkers and where it will take delivery of goods. We're just going to right click on that, and it already gives us a place to put our bazaar. And there we go. Ambulomancy. Whoa, that's a mouthful. Distributors of goods and services will roam the roads of your city for a period of time and then return. A little typo there. Return to their building. During their walk, if they reach a crossroad, they can take either direction. So your intersections, this is where these roadblocks are going to come into play. So to avoid distributors getting lost or going where you don't want them to, don't build a road network with too many intersections. Keep that in mind. It's very complicated. This is also true for recruiters, so place your buildings accordingly. All right. Now the roadblock hasn't popped up yet, so we will watch. Let's slow it down a little bit. All right, so this guy's a recruiter. Oh, geez, it just pops up right away. All right, so roadblocks, like I was talking about. One of the tools at your disposal that you can use to control the walkers is the roadblock. And it shows you right here the intersection and where you would want to keep this guy from wandering around, because they will eventually find the right path to go unless you've got some crazy road that goes nowhere or drops off into hazard territory or enemy territory, which part of Egyptian culture was battles and wars. So that will come into play much later in the game. So keep that in mind, because you don't want to keep your citizens safe. You don't want them to come to harm's way. Don't put them in the middle of the intersection, because like this example, he wants to find some people to work at the hunting lodge. Well, you don't want him to go this way, because he'll get lost going all the way back to Timbuktu. So we'll put a couple roadblocks in. Push pause. I know, yes, I've got it at half speed. All right, so we're going to restrict, and it's going to automatically show you, again, a little linear action here on where to put those. Next thing we're going to talk about is fire and collapse risks. Since masonry was predominantly the way that they constructed the buildings back then, they were constantly in need of repair. Also, being in a dry climate like this, they're also going to need some way to put out fires as quickly as possible. So you're going to want these buildings close, but not too close, and they will avoid the roadblocks. So you don't have to worry about the fire department or the architect's post. Eventually, doctors' house visits are necessary. So to make sure that Newt stays to make sure that Nupt sustains the test of time, you'll need to make sure that the structures in the village don't catch fire or collapse on themselves. So we're going to build these architect and fire stations. So you pick whatever you want, and it's, I think, going to tell us exactly. At least it tells us. At least it'll let us put these wherever we need to. Also, you wouldn't want to put a roadblock here, because that's going to stop your recruiters from even getting to the area that you need them to recruit from. All right. Put the firehouse there. Very next thing we're going to need is the next service is the architect's post. So we'll put the architect's post right here. Hit the O button. I'm not sure if I changed that hotkey or not, but orientate. There you go. Drag it right there. All right. And the notifications filled up pretty quickly. So if you need to go back and check anything that I kind of skimmed through on this initial mission, definitely check those out. I'm going to hit clear them all out. Right click, makes that little menu go away. All right. Take it off, pause. Now, the next thing we're going to need is access to clean water. So apparently the wells aren't going to be good enough. Eventually, some of the missions will open up the necessity for doctors' offices, and they will go around the houses, and malaria is a big concern living close to the Nile. All right, so now that they have food, villagers need access to clean water from a water supply, which is much preferred over water from wells. The water supplies must be built on grassy areas and also need access to employees in nearby housing. So the same rules apply. They're going to need recruit people to work. All right, right click. Excuse me. So water supply, put it right here. And again, it's kind of letting us do what we want now, which is kind of nice. All right, so the final pass on this is to reach the 6 meager shanties. All right, so we're going to clear all that. Right click, make the menu go away. We can speed it up by 1. And hopefully these meager shanties will kind of take care of themselves. You can't upgrade them. The only way they can be upgraded is by supplying certain needs that your citizens are going to want. So far right now, all they want is clean water and the bazaar. And we've got a little troop of bazaar guys coming through, picking up the water, picking up meat. We got the hunters going on, hunting and killing the ostriches. I don't think it was just ostriches that they lived on, but emus. I don't think emus were. So whatever game, maybe that's not as accurate as it could be, but you get the point. Whatever available animals, that's what they used to fill their granaries. It's what they used to fill the bazaar, to sell and give your citizens what they need to live on. Very basic necessities, just kind of sets you up for the rest of what the game is going to be. Just for video sakes, we'll speed this up a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't take very long. Perfect. All right. So here is where two things you can do. One, you can keep governing, and the next mission is available now as well. So the first time I did this took like 36 months. So a lot of things started coming back to me. The second time was 9 months. So this is even, just for funsies, because you want to establish better scores for your missions later to come. Anyway, so just a few tips on the startup right there. And if you click keep governing, one thing you can do that I suggest, it's in pause right now, go to your options, go to save game, start a new save, and we'll just call this Chief Day 1. All right, so now anytime you want to come back to this save, you can. However, I think when we return back to this save, it's going to automatically put us into the next mission anyway. So rather than listen to this guy again, we're just going to click next mission. And now it opens up Thynais. Your family begins. It's the same message you got from Nup. So this is just going to be the next mission. And so we're going to go ahead and start this. Now, wind conditions on this is going to be one ordinary cottage. All right, so let's open this mission up. This should be a little bit less linear. It's not going to predetermine where the buildings should go. And again, I'm going to go ahead and clear this guy out. Definitely take the minute to listen to him. New beginnings. Start to lay down your housing and provide your people with fresh water and food the same way you did in Nup. Try to stay relatively close to those ore-bearing rocks in the northwest of the map. You're going to need to mine them. You can clear trees with the remove button, but these won't grow back. In future missions, you'll have to make sure you won't need them before getting rid of them. So be careful what you do with the landscape, because that is definitely true. All right, so I'm going to push this in pause. Please hit that subscribe button. I'll continue to make some more videos after this. This is just kind of a short intro to see if I can get anybody to even be interested in Pharaoh with me. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the time that you've taken to watch this video. I'll see you in the next one. All right, Chief out.